and said, wow, I'd just get a hammer and knock the board off. But in my anger, I'd slap the board. But the board didn't fall. I ran my hand on the nail. It went deep. And I finally, I took it and pushed it on. And Daddy shouldn't have said what he said, because it hit me like a double bang. He said, Della Mary, I thought you were sanctified. So, I grew up, with this. They say we just got a problem with a temper. They said we got it from the Irish. I don't know if Ireland was hot-headed or not. But in all of it, in the years, more and more, and of course to be sanctified, the Word teaches us that by the blood we're cleansed, and we read the Word, and we're washed, and we're washed, and we're washed. You and I seek to live a sanctified life. That's the goal of every child of God. Because there are blessings we get when you live that life of sanctification. And you can do it. It's not too hard to do it. It takes discipline. You see a lot of these empty spaces in the church. A lot of folks laid out in church today and been laying out a while. That don't mean they're going to go to hell. They're not sanctified. For some people. I know some are on vacation. But some have just decided to lay out a while. They're not disciplined in their commitment to God. Amen. So I'm not going to think, well, am I going to lose? No. But the more you can become sanctified. And now you and I, how many married men I got here? Married men. Here we are. Now, women, our wives, help us men become more and more dedicated. Amen. They live with us. Amen. They know if we read the Word of God. Amen. They hear what comes out of our mouth. Yeah. And I thank God for a good wife that she monitors me closely. When I grew up in school, it said it's an all-seeing eye. Boy, when you get married, there's an all-seeing eye. There's the eye of that wife. Sometimes she comes in there and I'm on the telephone to the, honey, you're a Christian. Not that I was throwing out any bad words or nothing like that. But sometimes you can get a little provoked with somebody whose mind seems to be clouded and they're far off anyway. And you're trying to tell them like it is and they don't quite understand. Well, let me back up to John 17. How many of you men thank God for wives that will help you? Don't worry. Sometimes the wife says, wait till I get him home.
Mine told me I was going to be the only man in heaven with a wheelchair.
Here is Jesus. In Jesus, all of chapter 17, Jesus is praying the blessings of God on you and I. And I always want to tell you, being saved by faith, that's not of myself. That's a gift of God. Yeah. Knowing I'm saved is wonderful. Yeah. But you get to enjoy serving God when you enter into that lifestyle of sanctification. Where you're feasting on the Word, you sing praises, you fellowship with God, and you let God bless you so much. Here Jesus is praying, and this was one part of his prayer. And I'll start with verse 15. I do not pray that you should take them out of the world. You should keep them from the evil one. Amen. They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. Notice verse 17. Sanctify them It means put some discipline in their lives.
Yes.
Sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I also have sent them into the world. Just hold your thing. I want to back up to 1 Peter chapter 2. And we're coming right back over here. Peter is talking to the church, and he says this, all those great things I read to you. But verse 1 of chapter 2, speaking about sanctification. Therefore, laying aside all malice, all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, all evil speaking. As newborn babes desire the pure milk of the word, you may grow thereby. He said, and if indeed you have tasted that the Lord is gracious. And so here, Peter is talking to the church. You're born again. You're saved. You know you're saved. Now, work on this about deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and evil speaking. And Paul lists a long list of things to get away from it. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 7:1, having therefore these promises, verily, beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of the Lord. Boy, Paul covers a lot. For you and I as Christians, cleansing ourselves, filthiness of the flesh and spirit. There's been a few ball games I've attended, and I mentioned in the early service, I was in a ball game one night sitting pretty close to the sideline, up in the stand, and I felt like the referee threw a flag that I didn't think was right. It looked like Walterboro might lose the ball game. But a ball game's a ball game, But I hollered at him, I said, fat boy, go back to Somerville. He may not have been from Somerville. And he wasn't that big. But sometimes we can speak evil. He's out there doing his job. I felt like he was a little prejudiced. Sometimes you feel that way, But here I am, pastor of Living Word Church, and the crowd were looking at me. People will look at you. And the Lord wants you and I, He wants us to be looked at. But He wants us to be sanctified. Well-mannered, learning how to keep ourselves in sanctification. I'm back over here to John. And so he says, now in that 17, sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. You sent me in the world, I've sent them into the world. Notice that verse 19 is a loaded statement. And for their sake, I sanctify myself, that they also may be sanctified by the truth. Jesus, the Son of God, basically said there's a lot of things I could do, but I didn't do for other people. And you and I, church, we don't just live for ourselves. We got to live in the eyes of others. And I can't tell you that, in fact I can tell you, that my life, all of my life, has not been without some criticism. I've had some failures.